Hi, I'm Bristol. Never in a million years did I think my Christmas morning would turn into a nightmare. My 3-year-old daughter Emma had been so excited about Santa's visit, barely sleeping the night before. We were staying at my in-laws' home for the holidays, something I'd been dreading given my rocky relationship with my mother-in-law Eleanor. James, can you check on Emma? She should be up by now, I said to my husband as I arranged presents under the tree. James looked up from his coffee. She's probably still sleeping. You know how cranky she gets if we wake her too early? It's past 8, and you know Emma. Christmas morning? She'd be up at dawn, I replied, feeling that first twinge of concern. My father-in-law Robert entered, already dressed in his Christmas sweater. Morning, Bristol. Where's my little princess? That's what I'm wondering. I'm going to check on her. I headed upstairs to the guest room where Emma's portable bed was set up. Empty. My heart rate quickened. Emma? I called out, checking the bathroom. Nothing. When I returned downstairs, Eleanor was in the kitchen preparing breakfast, humming Christmas carols. Eleanor, have you seen Emma this morning? I asked. She barely looked up from the pancake batter. Oh, she was being quite noisy at 5 a.m., running around, talking about presents. Very disruptive. Something in her tone made my skin crawl. And? Where is she now? Children need to learn patience, Eleanor said, her voice eerily calm. Christmas isn't just about getting what you want immediately. What did you do? I demanded, my voice rising. James appeared in the doorway. Mom, where's Emma? Eleanor sighed dramatically. She's fine, just learning a valuable lesson about patience and behavior. Tell me where my daughter is right now, I said through gritted teeth. She's in the attic storage room, Eleanor finally admitted. It's perfectly safe. I gave her a blanket and told her Santa doesn't visit little girls who wake the whole house up. James rushed past me, taking the stairs 2 at a time. I followed, heart pounding. You locked my 3-year-old in the attic? I shouted over my shoulder. It's not locked, Eleanor called after me. The door is just a bit heavy for little hands. We found the attic door, with a chair propped under the handle. James threw it aside and pulled the door open. Emma, sweetheart, he called into the dark space. A small, tearful voice answered. Daddy, is Santa still coming? I pushed past James and gathered my sobbing daughter into my arms. She was cold, frightened, and had been crying for hours. Did I be bad, Mommy? She whimpered against my neck. My best friend Diane called that evening. I'd texted her what happened. Bristol, that's literally child abuse, she said, her voice shaking with anger. Tell me you're not staying there another minute. We're at the hotel down the road, I confirmed. He's in shock. What did he say to his mother? He told her we're leaving and not to contact us, I replied. But Diane, this isn't the first time she's done something like this, just the most extreme. What do you mean? Remember when Emma came home saying Grandma told her Mommy doesn't love her as much as Daddy does? Or when she accidentally threw away Emma's comfort blanket? Bristol. Diane's voice turned serious. You need to document everything. This is a pattern, and it's dangerous. I know, I whispered, watching Emma finally sleeping peacefully. And I'm done letting her get away with it. The next morning, I sat across from Officer Martinez at the local police station, my hands wrapped around a paper cup of mediocre coffee. So you're saying your mother-in-law confined your 3-year-old daughter to an attic space for approximately 3 hours on Christmas morning? Officer Martinez clarified, her pen poised over her notepad. Yes, I confirmed. Emma was locked in the attic from roughly 5 a.m. until 8:15 when we found her. And the door was barricaded? There was a chair propped under the handle, I explained. Emma couldn't have opened it even if she tried. Officer Martinez nodded, her expression professional but sympathetic. Has anything like this happened before? Not exactly like this, but there have been incidents, I said, pulling out my phone. I've started documenting them. James arrived, looking exhausted. He slid into the seat beside me. Mr. Reynolds, thank you for joining us, Officer Martinez said. I understand this is a difficult situation involving your mother. My priority is my daughter's safety, James said firmly. What my mother did was inexcusable. You're both doing the right thing reporting this, Officer Martinez assured us. Child Protective Services will need to be involved. Have you spoken with your mother since the incident? James tensed beside me. She's called repeatedly. Says we're overreacting. That she was just disciplining Emma. Locking a toddler alone in an attic is not discipline, I said sharply. No, it's not, Officer Martinez agreed. It's child endangerment, possibly false imprisonment. My phone buzzed. Eleanor calling again. I showed Officer Martinez. You might want to answer that on speakerphone, she suggested. With your permission, I'd like to hear, I answered, placing the phone on the table. Hello, Eleanor. Bristol, this ridiculous situation has gone on long enough. Eleanor's voice filled the room. James needs to come to his senses and bring my granddaughter back. Eleanor, what you did was wrong, I stated clearly. You locked a 3-year-old in an attic on Christmas morning? I was teaching her manners, something you clearly haven't managed to do, she snapped. In my day, children respected adults and didn't run wild at dawn. James leaned toward the phone. Mom, you terrified Emma. She thought Santa wasn't coming because she was bad. Oh, please, she needs to toughen up. Bristol's making her soft. Mrs. Reynolds, Officer Martinez interjected. This is Officer Martinez with the police department. I'm sitting with your son and daughter-in-law. A pause. You called the police? Over proper discipline? It's not discipline to lock a child in an attic, I said. Emma was cold, scared, and alone for hours. You've always been dramatic, Bristol, Eleanor dismissed. Always turning James against me. Well, it won't work. Family stands together, and James knows where his loyalties should lie. James's jaw tightened. My loyalty is to my wife and daughter, Mom. What you did crossed every line. Robert, talk some sense into your son, Eleanor called to someone in the background. Robert's voice came closer to the phone. James, son, your mother made a mistake, but surely this is something we can handle as a family. By handle as a family, do you mean sweep it under the rug like every other time she's gone too far? I challenged. Now, Bristol, Robert began. Mr. Reynolds, Officer Martinez cut in. Your wife's actions constitute child endangerment. This isn't a family matter anymore. Later that day, Diane and I met at a cafe while James took Emma to the park. They're seriously defending her? Diane asked incredulously. Robert is, I sighed. He keeps saying Eleanor meant well, but went about it wrong. That's absurd, Diane replied. What's James saying about all this? He's firmly on our side. I've never seen him so angry at his mother. Good, Diane nodded. So what's the plan now? Officer Martinez is filing charges. We're getting a restraining order, I explained. And we're meeting with a family lawyer tomorrow. This won't be easy, Bristol, Diane warned. Eleanor seems like the type to fight back dirty. I know, I said, determination hardening in my chest. But I'll do whatever it takes to protect Emma. 3 days after Christmas, we agreed to meet Eleanor and Robert at their attorney's office. Our lawyer, Miss Chen, advised against it, but James insisted on giving his mother one chance to understand the severity of her actions. Bristol, James, Eleanor greeted us with a tight smile when we entered the conference room. I'm so glad we can discuss this unfortunate misunderstanding. It wasn't a misunderstanding, I replied coldly. You deliberately locked our daughter in an attic. Eleanor sighed dramatically. I simply removed Emma from a situation where she was misbehaving. The door was not locked. A 3-year-old can't move a chair blocking a door, James pointed out. You intentionally trapped her there. I was trying to help, Eleanor insisted. Emma needs more structure than you provide. By terrorizing her on Christmas morning? I demanded. Eleanor's lawyer, a silver-haired man named Mr. Daniels, cleared his throat. Perhaps we can all take a step back. Mrs. Reynolds Sr. acknowledges that her actions were ill-conceived. Ill-conceived? I interrupted. Emma had nightmares for the past 2 nights. She's afraid to go upstairs by herself now. Children are resilient, Eleanor dismissed with a wave of her hand. She'll forget all about it in a week. James slammed his palm on the table. This isn't the first time you've undermined our parenting or tried to turn Emma against Bristol. I've done no such thing. Eleanor gasped. You told our daughter that I don't love her as much as her daddy does, I said evenly. I merely suggested that mothers and fathers love differently, Eleanor replied. You're twisting my words. Mrs. Reynolds, Miss Chen interjected. There's a documented pattern of your attempting to alienate your granddaughter from her mother. Combined with this latest incident, it demonstrates a concerning behavior pattern. This is ridiculous, Eleanor scoffed. James, surely you can't support this witch hunt against your own mother? Don't try to manipulate me, Mom, James warned. I saw Emma's face when we found her. I heard her asking if she was bad and if Santa would still come. I was disciplining her. That wasn't discipline, I shot back. It was cruel and it was abusive. How dare you? Eleanor stood up, pointing a finger at me. I have never abused anyone in my life. This is just another example of you poisoning my son against me. Mrs. Reynolds, please sit down, Mr. Daniels urged. No, I will not sit here and be accused by this woman who trapped my son in a marriage and now wants to keep my granddaughter from me. Mom, James shouted. That's enough. Eleanor turned to him, eyes suddenly watering. James, darling, can't you see what she's doing? Breaking apart our family? I made one little mistake. It wasn't little, James interrupted, and it wasn't a mistake. You deliberately frightened and isolated Emma to punish her for being excited on Christmas morning. I'm sorry if that's how it seemed, Eleanor said, voice softening as tears fell. You know I love Emma more than anything. I would never hurt her. But you did hurt her, I stated firmly. Bristol, please. Eleanor turned to me, reaching for my hand across the table. I'm truly sorry. I wasn't thinking clearly. Can't we move past this? For Emma's sake? For the family? No, I said, pulling my hand away. Your apology doesn't change what you did or the effect it had on Emma. Eleanor's face hardened. This is your doing. You've never wanted me in Emma's life. That's not true, I replied. I've tried for years to have a relationship with you. You'll regret this, Eleanor hissed, suddenly looking at James. And you, choosing her over your own mother, after all I've sacrificed for you? Mrs. Reynolds, Mr. Daniels cautioned. No, let her talk, Miss Chen said calmly. The court should hear this. Court? Eleanor's voice rose. There won't be any court. I'll make sure of that. You think you can take my granddaughter from me? I have friends in this town. People respect me. No one will believe you over me. She grabbed her purse and stormed toward the door, turning back with one final glare. This isn't over. No one takes my family from me. 6 weeks later, I sat in the courtroom as the judge delivered her ruling. The investigation had uncovered more than we expected. Other incidents with neighborhood children, complaints from Emma's daycare about Eleanor's inappropriate behavior. The court grants the petition, Judge Wilson announced. Eleanor Reynolds is to have no contact with the minor child or Bristol Reynolds for 1 year, complete 50 hours of community service, and attend mandatory counseling. Relief washed over me as James squeezed my hand. Outside the courtroom, Officer Martinez approached us. Good outcome today. How's Emma doing? James smiled for the first time in weeks. Better. The therapist says she's processing things well. Children are resilient when they have supportive parents. She nodded. You both did the right thing. Eleanor suddenly blocked our path. James, please, she pleaded, ignoring me. This has gone far enough. I'm your mother. You should respect the court order, Mom, James said firmly. You've let your wife destroy our family over nothing, she snapped. You locked a 3-year-old child in an attic, I interjected. That's not nothing. I've apologized, Eleanor cried. What more do you want? Understanding of why it was wrong, James replied. But you clearly don't have that. Eleanor turned to me, eyes narrowed. Are you happy now? You've taken my son and granddaughter from me. This isn't a competition, I said quietly. And I didn't do this. You did. She laughed harshly. Enjoy your victory while it lasts. Family is forever, Bristol. Mrs. Reynolds, Officer Martinez stepped forward. I suggest you leave before you violate the protective order. Eleanor glared before walking away, Robert trailing behind her. That evening, Diane came over for dinner after Emma was asleep. "So it's really over?" she asked, helping me clean up. "The legal part is," I confirmed. "Though Eleanor will probably never stop trying to worm her way back in. How's James handling it?" "It's been hard on him," I admitted. "He's grieving the relationship he thought he had with his mother. And you? How are you feeling?" "Relieved, mostly. Sad that it came to this. But I know we did the right thing." Later that night, James turned to me on the porch swing. "I keep thinking about what Mom said, that family is forever." "She's right, but not in the way she meant," he replied. "You and Emma are my family. That's what's forever to me." I leaned against his shoulder. "Do you think she'll ever truly understand what she did wrong?" "I don't know," James sighed. "But that's not our responsibility anymore." "No," I agreed. "Our responsibility is inside, sleeping with her stuffed penguin." "Do you know what Emma told me today?" James smiled. "She wants to help other kids who are scared. Maybe be a doctor or police officer like Martinez." I felt warmth spread through my chest. "She's going to be amazing, whatever she chooses." "Just like her mom," James said, kissing my head. Sometimes I wonder if other parents have to make the hard choice between peace and protection. I hope sharing our story helps someone else find their courage. After all, justice isn't just about consequences. It's about creating a safer world for the people we love.